Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We're still working on the Mustang here. You have to excuse the audio. I think my microphone just broke, so I'm using the crappy one inside the camera. But my last video that I put out, if you didn't catch that one, go check that one out. Basically got rid of some dings and some paint chips on the roof. I got this ready. It's primed. It just needs to be sanded out and painted. I also showed a sneak peek of the quarter panel on the passenger side. I got rid of the cheap plastic afterthought garbage side scoops that go like that on this year. It's a 9904 Mustang. And now I got it all welded up. Sheet metal. It's seam sealed. It's never going to rust. It's welded up. It's done right. So in this video, I'm going to show the driver's side from start to finish. If you wanted to do it yourself, you could totally do it. You just need basic air tools and a cheap MIG welder or something like that. Hey, if you want these side scoops, hit me up in the messages, whatever. You can buy them from me cheap, I don't care. If you like this kind of stuff, working on the old Mustang here, you like doing body work, custom mods, stuff like that, like the channel, subscribe, all that stuff. So, without further ado, I'm going to start doing the driver's side. Some basic trim tools you're going to need, just held on with clips. Alright, before you get started, you want to protect your glass and any other panels around your area so you don't damage them with sparks. Alright, here I'm actually marking out where I'm going to be cutting out that inner structure behind the scoop because a lot of this metal is in the way. Alright, to cut out the structure I used my cutoff wheel with a 3-inch disc. Alright, you can see here that I actually cut about a 1/4 inch off of that hard crease. When I weld that patch panel in, I don't want to weld it in that body line. It's just going to be harder later on to body work it. Alright, and then I just cleaned up the area with an angle grinder with a grinding disc on it and a clean and strip disc, and just got it down to bare metal. And I finished it up by just deburring the inside edge with a file. Alright, and here's that clean and strip disc I was talking about. I really like these things because they remove the paint and the primer and contamination and everything, but it won't remove any metal. Alright, here I actually grabbed a straight edge and I'm just trying to get like a straight plane of where that patch is going to meet that existing sheet metal on the car. And I did have to come in and tweak it a little bit with a pair of channel locks, just so when I go to weld in that patch panel, that metal's sitting where it should. Alright, next up I just grabbed a piece of cardboard to make a template that I can fit and shape and then eventually transfer to the sheet metal. Alright, and this patch material that I'm using is 18 gauge cold rolled steel, which is going to be the same thickness as the metal on the car. So after I transferred the template to the steel, I grabbed my nibbler and I cut it out. Alright, this part took a good amount of time, just placing the patch, putting some position marks on it, and just trimming and shaping so it fits perfectly in the opening. Alright, and a little tip, when welding in patches like this with a MIG welder, you want to leave a gap around the patch and the existing body of the car about as wide or as thick as your welding wire you're using in your welder. This makes just welding it in a whole lot easier, and it also helps with warping and penetration. Alright, once I was happy with the fitment of the patch, I took the back side and I hit it with a clean and strip disc to clean off any oxidation, any hand oils, anything like that. Wiped it down with some prep sol and hit it with a coat of edge primer. Alright, here I am just going crazy with tarps and blankets, just trying to protect anything that can be burned with hot welding sparks. Alright, here's a little shout out to Harbor Freight. I mean, I'm doing all this with a $90 welder. I rolled in there with my coupon, and I picked this thing up. It's gasless, and it actually worked flawlessly. Alright, here I just removed some of the primer on the outside edge of the panel where it's actually going to be welded. Later on, I'll just go back and re-prime it. It's going to burn off anyway with the welder. Alright, and then when you're confident you're good to roll, you're happy with the patch, you can start burning it in. Actually started in the corner, put a tack, make sure it was in the right position where I wanted it, and worked our way around the panel, just putting some tacks just to hold it into place and not warp anything. And yes, I was trying to weld the ground cable to the panel like a true hack. Alright, and here you can see the patch is in position, it's welded in. There's a tack maybe every 2 inches, and I tried to keep as much heat as possible out of the panel so it wouldn't warp. So next I'm actually going to, it's called stitch welding. So you basically jump around the panel, just connecting between those spot welds. And you do this again just so you don't load it up with heat and warp the panel. This is the time that a lot of people, they tend to rush the welding just to get it done. They're tired of waiting, tired of blowing it with air to cool it off, and they end up with a wobbly panel that's all warped, and then they have to beat it into shape again and load it up with filler. I tried to avoid that, so I did take my time. This took maybe over an hour to weld it in. I would just weld a little bit, go take a break, come back, do a little more welding, go take a break. and it actually came out and I didn't really warp anything. Alright, here you can see the downside of using a flux core wire in your welder. It doesn't require any gas, but it does leave a sooty weld. Alright, here when all the welding's done, all the gaps are filled. I went over it with my cutoff wheel just to knock those welds down. Once I had most of them down, I grabbed my angle grinder with my 2-inch disc and some 36 grit and tried to totally just flatten it out. Alright, so at this point, the patch is done, it's welded in. Now I'm just preparing the surface for filler. I'm doing that with my angle grinder with, I think I had 80 grit on a little 2-inch pad. Alright, so you're going to see me using tape before I apply the filler. I'm actually doing this, I'm taping right to the edge of that hard body line that is already in the car. I'm trying to preserve that. I don't want to get filler all in there because it is straight already, and I'm mostly doing it to preserve it. Alright, and for the first coat of filler, it's just personal preference for me. I like the Duraglass or the Bondo glass, whatever you want to call it. It's the fiberglass reinforced body filler. I like to put a coat of that down first over all my weld areas. Just in case there's a pinhole or anything like that, it'll actually seal it. So you're not going to get any rust or rot that comes through the back of the panel. And I'm just shaping that Duraglass with some 80 grit on a 5-inch DA. I'm just trying to get the bulk of it down, nothing pretty. It's going to get topped with like a premium, lightweight, regular body filler. Alright, on to the next step. Regular, lightweight, premium body filler. Remember the mixing ratio, golf ball to a pea of hardener, and you want to fold it in and not stir it, otherwise you'll get air bubbles in it. You'll have air bubbles in your panel when you're done. You don't want that. So at this point I retaped the edges again, and I just covered the whole thing in it. I'd say 90% of this is going to be sanded off. Alright, so while I was waiting for that to dry, I actually got my icing out and trying to address, I had a couple little ripples in my wheel arch from when I rolled my fender lift, so I figured this was a good time to handle that. Alright, most of this sanding work was done by hand. I started with 80 grit, got some shape to it, worked my way up to 180 grit, which you can finish off and actually prime over. I used the tape again just to keep the integrity of those body lines, and just made everything easier in terms of shaping, keeping those hard creases in that panel. Alright, and here's a little final sanding. I think I was using 220 on my 5-inch DA. Just cleaning off some little paint areas around it. Above the scoop I had a couple chips, stuff like that, so I was sanding that down. And here it is on the outside. It is basically ready for primer. As for the inside, that's another story. I still have to dress the welds, put some seam sealer on that area so I don't get any rust. But first I have to remove the interior, which I probably should have done before, but for whatever reason I didn't. Pretty straightforward. I already had the back seat out of the car, so the rest is just clips, push pins, big Torx nuts for the seat belt stuff, and that's it. All that stuff just pops out. Alright, now that I have access to the back side of the panel, I'm going to hit it with a deruster or a metal conditioner. Anything that kind of eats surface rust and conditions and neutralizes rust, basically. I actually use a little brush, and I brush down the whole weld area with it. And this is so all the little nooks and crannies that I can't get to with a wire brush or anything, I'll kill the rust in those areas. And here I figured while I was working in here, I might as well just take the nuts out and pop these C-pillars out so they're out of the way when I go to prime. So at this point, that metal conditioner, it was sitting on there for a few hours. I hit it with a wire brush, wiped it down. Now I'm going to hit it with my same etch primer, the Crest stuff. I love this stuff. Just go in and cover all the little bare metal areas, and when that's dry, I let that fully dry, and I came in with a 3M heavy duty seam sealer. I actually put it anywhere where the metal was overlapping, and I also put a nice bead over the weld. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything and you don't see it. Alright, and here it is. It's all done, ready for primer. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it. I hope it was informative, and I will see you on the next one.